Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and we're jumping into Phobies. Been pretty excited to play Phobies, I have to admit. I've been looking forward to it pretty much all week. Bees! Sorry, there's no chomp on this one, DT. I gotta switch scenes, so I'll do that right now so that people can get their bees in. Where is it? Get some bee action going on. Bees! Yeah, I don't have it on the waiting screen. I'm just gonna do our... I think this is one of those games that I can't really lose, if I remember correctly. Oh no, they took this point. We still have 7 keys left in this game for us to actually do other mean things to our opponent, so I'm just gonna pass. But we're gonna jump into some arena games. Like I said, I've been excited to play some Phobies. I've actually been playing more async offline as of late, which obviously we have a few different turns here. I meant to check my async games earlier, but honestly, I just kind of forgot. GG. I don't know if we get everything here. Can we kill this? Definitely want to kill their murder fly, right? I'm just kind of doing things. The async games have been interesting in the sense that you can... Like, there's a lot of things to learn from the async games. I feel as though I can mess around with other strategies that I wouldn't ordinarily try otherwise. Obviously, there's way more time to think about things. I really do enjoy the arena games way more, I think. But that isn't to say that the async games aren't fun. It's just, I prefer the arena ones, but it's nice every once in a while to go, you know what, I want to have as much time as I feel like. Yeah, I just unlocked the Thunder Dude the other day, like earlier this week. I want to say like the middle of the week, I don't remember. So I was trying to force him, or it, in a few different games. I didn't realize its name was literally Thunder Rocks, I forgot. But it was exciting for me because I've been getting my butt handed to me by a number of different things. And I talked about this yesterday playing Runestrike, but mechanical phobies. There have been a number that have shown up that I've had difficulty dealing with. This guy seems pretty sturdy. You know, he has 1500 health for a 3-key. That's the most I have other than Stabby, and Stabby is intended to be a sponge. So it's relatively tanky, and it pushes a decent amount of damage against mechanical phobies. This definitely feels like a counter phobie. Like the game that I just had on screen a minute ago was one that my opponent opened with a whole bunch of mechanical guys. So I'm like, great. Send out Thunder Rocks. Get in there, pal. But aside from that, I've also run into a number of problems with poison phobies. And to a lesser degree, but still a problematic degree, just large phobies in general. Probably not going to do that. Poison 5 phobies could happen. So the problem is dealing with those 3 things with the collection we have, and we'll see if we can manage to pull it off. So we have a new map. This is one of several new maps, and I actually haven't played on this one yet. Where is our spawn point? Oh, here's one. Where's theirs? These maps are so big that you actually have to zoom out in order to see everything. So this is a 41 key map, or a 40 key map. I have 41 because I'm going second. And I've seen multiple different things. Yeah, it's super tanky for 3 keys, but the only time I faced it was serious misplay by my opponent, Thunder Rocks. Gotcha. Yeah, it doesn't... It seems as though it has a very explicit purpose. It's, I fight mechanical phobies, and that's all it does. It doesn't really do much of anything else. Is there actually a path up here? No, you can't path this way. So these are, I guess, the void zones that actually came up in conversation off stream. We're going to lead off probably with Murderfly, so that we can try and cap this. Yeah, Abyss is what they're called. Kill phobies that are pushed or pulled into it except for flyers. Makes sense. This guy is melee, right? I'm pretty sure he's melee. He has an enormous move, though. This guy, Droney, seems like it's worth acquiring. Definitely seems like a solid phobie. So if we go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you're in range of this middle one, I guess... I don't know that Gesundheit is a good idea here. We're gonna try it. Our opponent has 5 keys, so they can drop something pretty substantial this turn. But one of the things about these larger maps is that you do have, or I believe you have, extra hard health. So I'm not as concerned about the panic points yet. But we do want to make sure we preserve things like Murderfly. My collection just is lacking in the flyer department. So yeah, now they've captured a lot of panic points, and we're kind of in trouble here. Honestly, we probably should have banked the keys instead of utilizing Gesundheit, but what are you going to do? Yeah, on this map, I just use every flyer I have so they can get into the fray ASAP. Makes sense. Yeah, this is a different collection limitation than the one we were just talking about. So you do 216. They can't actually kill the cat unless I put it in range. So what we'll probably do is pop this guy and then send the cat in, just sacrifice it in order to cap something. Like I said, my particular collection is limited on flyers, so we're going to be in a little bit of trouble as far as... I mean, we do have a high mobility phobie in Rambolina, and if we didn't spawn the Gesundheit, we could have gotten it this turn, and that probably would have been better, because then it could get right up into the fray. We'd still be taking 1 billion right now, but we'd have a much more significant phobie to try and play with. Here, we're a little limited. So we can move like Gravedigger here and blow this up, and then allow better movement. Maybe that would have been better than opening Murderfly, to be honest. The jar has a large enough range that this way we can try and have it act more quickly. This is just to stem some of the bleeding. We'll bank some keys. This is not a spectacular start. Like I said, we do start with extra health on the heart, but our opponent controls like the entire board, and it's going to be at least 2 more turns before we wrest control back, assuming we don't just punt. But as tradition, I'll probably lose the first stream game of the day. So we could cap this, and unless they move this up, we're pretty safe. Because they could hit it for 3, 5. Is this thing just a better alligator? It feels like it does comparable damage. Yeah, you have to leave the cat there, because if I cap this point, you couldn't threaten me before. Now they can. Yes, it's better. I mean, it seems like it's just a better alligator. So we're probably... I was going to say we're going to trade Gesundheit for this thing, but we're not going to. So we can kill their jar for freezies, but we're going to lose the Murderfly in the process, most likely. Yeah. Actually, we can't kill the jar now because they blocked that path off. So like I said, we just have to stem the bleeding a bit here. So this will do 672. 8 and change. Yeah, so if we move Murderfly over there, it's going to die. If we move Murderfly over there, it's toast. What we could alternatively do, like I said, is Rambolina and maybe run it down here, since we have the enormous range. I think we get Rambolina into the mix. We might be able to make something happen if they get cute and try to put something here. We could bash it into the abyss, but I don't know how likely that is. We're going to start poking at this. I'm going to bank the other key because we do have relevant 7-drops now. I mean, one of them's Alligator, and we were just discussing how that's not fantastic. But we do have Flesh Crawler, which I've been making better use of lately now that I've kind of forced it in a number of games. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I was about to say I'm going to trade my Murderfly in, so feel free to do that, friend. I'm okay with that one. Yeah, this seems to make more sense. You're not going to kill it. I mean, you can move this up and kill it, which then will pop it with Jar. But it really matters whether this comes into range. One thing I will say is I appreciate when you click on the Phobies that they do their animation, because a lot of games that have this sort of thing, they'll have these cool idle animations or on-play animations, and it's, you know, unless you're watching it like a hawk, you miss it. But when you click on the Phobies, they do whatever their intro is, for lack of a better way to put it. So it gives you some cool stuff when you're waiting for your opponent. What the hell is this? So this is the dimensional Phobie with a better life leech. It's also flying, I guess? Yeah. Yeah, this seems a little scary. This seems a little scary. Everyone in Discord says it's OP. This thing? I mean, this seems really good. I mean, it's an ultra rare, so you kind of would anticipate that it is, right? We're just going to capture this point, because our opponent won't be able to reach us. And then we're going to try and set up Sheeping Gas, because this is our only poison phobia at the moment. So I don't have any other ways to actually contest this thing. They can't fight the Murderfly up here. It's healthy, so it can escape, or should be able to. And if they decide to dive for it, you know, if they try to cut off the retreat with this thing, which I think is what they're planning to do here. They're going to send up the cat and send up this the slime thing. We should be able to kill the slime with this, or a combination of Murderfly plus Jar. It might take 2 turns, but I think we can do it. Maybe not. It actually has 2,400 hit points. Plus, it's going to regenerate. Maybe not. Maybe we won't be able to kill it. This thing's movement is... I mean, it's supposed to be creepy, but this thing has creepy movement. We're never going to catch it. That's part of the problem. Yeah, this is kind of what I expected them to do. And we won't be able to get away. Yeah, we actually don't really want to do that. So if we go here, it pulls this back. You can hit it from here. And we basically traded our murder fly for that thing, which is obviously not good. So if that's in range, we're going to lose this for free. Not ideal. So, yeah, we're going to lose our way to kill their jar. I don't think that banking keys is really what we want to do, but I'm not sure exactly what we want yet. So the combination of this and this are going to kill the murder fly. So they're going to recap that point. The question is, can we dive the jar somehow? And I don't think so this turn. What we probably needed to do was put Rambolina here. Because then it could move here and bash this into the pit, I think. Or maybe it actually needed to be here. 1, 2, 3. I don't know how the push will work there. Like, do I need to hit it in a line? Because I assume it's going to try and move back one space, so I should not be able to bash them into the pit. If I'm thinking about this right. But yeah, we don't have a great way to kill this thing now. Because I don't want to go in range of this and take 1 billion. I expect this to move up. This can advance to like... Oh, maybe it goes like here. They might actually move it to here so that way they can try and fight the Rambolina. It's time for the go-to. Plus, I gotta walk it up, or it's gonna take 1,000 years for it to get involved. I want to have the sheep threaten this, so I don't want to move it, I don't think. And I guess where Rambolina is 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Batula exists to be sacrificed. I don't think... Actually, I think I've seen that phobie. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I have. Ooh, they're going on the offensive. If it can go in a straight line, it will not. If not, it usually works to your advantage as the pusher. Okay, so what we're saying is here, since it can't go this way, it would get pushed into the abyss. This is the first time I'm playing with the Abyss maps. I don't think I've done the challenges with it, so I'm not sure exactly how it behaves. Yeah, we're about to take 1 billion. We probably can't even hit this thing. Well, we're going to find out right now. How does this work? It pushes it into the abyss. Sweet. I think Jar will get abyssed by either approach by Rambo. Sweet. Yeah, it does seem to do it in a beneficial manner, which honestly I was not really expecting. I kind of anticipated that we were going to get hosed, but it did work out. So that means we can hit this guy for one. We can go here. We will get tagged by this, but we'll have time to run away. What are you? You are just a monster, right? Yeah, you're a monster. You're a monster. You can kind of see it on their portrait on the bottom, but for me, it's a little difficult to tell sometimes. So we're going fish tank because I think we're going to need a higher damage count in order to make this happen. Yeah, background color indicates class. Yep, exactly. I would, like I said, I just can't quite tell on the little portrait on some of them. Like, the blue here is obvious, but the... I mean, I guess now that I'm looking at it, it's more obvious. Like, this orangey red is clearly supposed to be monster. I don't know. First time I looked at it, I was having difficulty figuring it out. Alright, so they could just push our heart, possibly, here, and that's clearly very bad. They have control of the majority of the panic points. They have a fairly substantial health lead. Yeah, so we expected this to happen. And them being on this point, I don't know if we can kill this thing fast enough, to be honest. We may just be dead. Evo 2.0, yeah, I didn't even look at this. I mean, this is... So this is a pushback. The magnet is a little disorienting for me. It feels like it should be a pull, but, I mean, I get it. How much do you do? Not a lot, you just have a ton of health. I think we have to recap this point just to try and minimize the damage we're taking. I don't really want to be on the heart here, but I don't know that moving it up much faster is going to make a significant difference. And we can't reach this with, say, Wooly Bully up here. Why wouldn't it... So what I was trying to do very quickly was get Wooly Bully out to depower this guy, but it wasn't letting me do it, so I don't know if there's some limitation here that I'm missing. Or I just wasn't clicking fast enough, I'm not sure. This is a little unfortunate. That hurts. The good news is we can bash this guy into the pit, I think. Bad news is this guy's probably just gonna kill us. Ooh, okay, okay. If I were them, I'd just rush down the heart. I don't think there's any way we can stop them. I don't think there's any way we can stop them. We might be able to body block. Ooh, this guy is dangerous. That guy's pretty dangerous. They have way more flyers than we do. They have a lot more. Hey, Fanglade, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. You're just in time to see us lose for the first time on this new map. New map to me, anyway. Oh, no, we don't have this active yet. Ugh, okay. Good chunk of units, you can't use the abilities the first round, you summon them. That could be the case. I haven't used Wooly Bully, like, put it out and then immediately tried to use it all that much. Like, Gravedigger you can, so I just kind of assume that that's how it worked. But that's fair, that could be the case. Doctor Who Needs Love, thank you for the follow. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we're dead. We're doing this to block the heart, but I don't know that it matters. So they're going to get Cheaping Gas. I'm just kind of accepting that Cheaping Gas is toast. We might have been able, like, if we... No, because we didn't have enough damage to try and run away. We'd have to, like, just straight up run out this way. I don't think we'd get it into position to actually do what it was originally supposed to do, which was deal with this. Yeah, it's 50-50, depends on the unit, never use Wooly either. Gotcha. Is there any indication on which abilities are which? As far as I can tell, unless there's notation here that I'm missing, I don't know what this 1 means. Okay, so yeah, there's no notation here next to the cooldown on Gravedigger, but there is on Wooly Bully, so I guess that's locked for 1 turn. It kind of... I think that's a lock. You can kind of see the outline there. There's a little... Gotcha, gotcha. That's fair. At least it's there, because I played other games that kind of go out of their way to obscure things like that, and it's exceptionally frustrating. But Phobies is very good about presenting information to the player. So Rambolina's 100% toast. There's really not much we can do. If they want to kill Rambolina, Rambolina's dead. It's just a matter of whether they decide to go face. The Erratic, I think, was a bad choice. Did our opponent DC? That would be really unfortunate. Or is it going to rush through and, like, do 75 actions in 3 seconds? It looks like they DC'd. That's a big womp-womp moment. So we're going to get another boop. We'll just boop that guy into the pit. We'll punch this. We're just gonna go for it. I mean, push some damage. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I put it on there. Exactly. You're right, DT. That's why she got the debuff. In case they come back, we're not gonna let it happen. Erratic's actually somewhat vulnerable here. If our opponent decided to show up again. Never mind, they surrendered. So I wonder if that's an actual surrender or if most games will have the disconnect feature. I just don't know how many turns it is in Phobies. So I want to look at the replay for this, mostly because I don't think there's any way we actually win this game if our opponent didn't disconnect or whatever happened. The dangers of mobile games where, you know, you're pooping and then you lose Wi-Fi. Most people don't think about ensuring that Wi-Fi is strong in their bathroom. You always got to be thinking. I'm just fast-forwarding to the later turns. There were turns before the end here that we could have played it differently. I honestly did not consider that they would just rush the heart. And that was absolutely a mistake. This turn also, so since we're on this turn, there is no reason to shoot this with Jar. It's completely unnecessary. The Jar probably should have just been here so that it doesn't die to the follow-up Jin Sting. So at least we're preserving the Jar. Does it really matter? Probably not, but I think it would have been better to preserve it. So yeah, if I had realized or had known going in that we can't do the Wooly Bully play on this guy, I would never have done Wooly Bully. We probably would have just gotten our 5-key Cyclops, or we would have put out, how many is that? That's 8, 9 keys, so we could have gotten one of the 7 drops, or a variety of other things that would have shown up instead of Gravedigger and Wooly Bully, or at the very least, Wooly Bully. So at this stage, I just want to get to the next turn so we can see what the final state was. So we have 2,400 health. We end up pushing everything to body block, which I think is necessary, because otherwise this hits for 8, this hits for another 8, so that's 16. Well, maybe we didn't need to. So let's say we didn't body block. Let's say we don't body block here and gum up this whole thing. We need at least one Phobie to stand on the point, because otherwise I think that's problematic. This thing goes back on the point. Maybe it doesn't, because it doesn't have that enough health. It's going to heal to like 1,800. We could burn this down and then try and push up this way by where Hevo is. So we push up towards Hevo and then try and collapse back on them. What we might have been better off doing this... Where was the... Okay, so this guy was here. So this turn... I was going to say maybe we would have been better off if we tried to break this with Gravedigger a couple turns later. We wouldn't have had time if we break this one. But then the only way that the Cyclops that I'm suggesting comes out and is relevant is up here, and we're not necessarily forcing them up here if they see this thing camping it. So I guess this is fine. Like I said, I think we do need to hold the point. In my experience, people who use notorious phobies like Alistair and Grimes seem to think they'll auto-win by summoning it. If you swarm kill or otherwise neutralize it, they surrender. That is a common thing in a lot of games, DT, where there are... If we assume, and this is the very first time I'm seeing this phobie, so I'm not saying that this thing is overpowered. It certainly seems really strong. Like, it seems super strong. But I don't... The only experience I have is this game that everybody just watched, and they didn't do a whole hell of a lot with it. I have seen that phenomenon, we'll call it, in other games. Not other Phobies games, but just entirely other games where there is this element of, yeah, this unit, this minion, this creature, this whatever, is way more powerful than comparable things, so I'm going to use it to carry me to victory. And people will just immediately surrender at the drop of a hat if it doesn't immediately take over the game. I've definitely seen that behavior happen. I don't know if that's what happened here, because I don't think they were out of it. Like, we were absolutely on the ropes. Like, just go face. I don't think we can kill you fast enough, because we basically have to kill both of these on this turn. Like, whoop. So we're in position here. They take 2 pot shots with this guy. They move this up, take a shot. Move this up, take a shot. We possibly can kill all 3. Like, this will push and then move. This moves up, hits this for 700. This moves up, powers something down. This moves into position. I think Hevo or this, like, probably both of these live. And only one of them is going to be powered down. They were out of keys, so maybe we were in a better position than I thought, because they may not have been able to burn us down. And I think that's their out up here. Also, Hevo's ability can knock your fish tank in the hole would insta-kill it. How far back does it knock back? Like, is this 2 on here? This is the range of this. It's only going to push it back 1 tile, right? Oh, you're saying you could do it here. Yeah, you could do it here right now. He used it earlier in the game. I think it only goes 1 tile, but it was live. So they absolutely could have pushed Fish Tank into the abyss. Which, honestly, I wasn't considering at the time, but realistically, if they... I was of the opinion, as I was playing the game, that I was going to lose. So I needed to try and force something. Now, it might have been better. So we end up... Could we have gotten, like, Wooly Bully on 1-2, 1-2? No. So yeah, Fish Tank or Rambolina had to go on the point. I think Rambolina was more important to preserve because we were going to get the auto kill here. Which means that when we attacked here and hit this idiot, that was stupid. We should have just hit this. I was thinking, oh, well, they're going to life leech. And they're going to life leech more than we're dealing, so I guess it doesn't matter which one we attack. I wanted to make sure that we locked it off like this so that they couldn't just fly here and continue punching. But in retrospect, like I said, maybe they just didn't have the damage, and this was an incorrect positioning. Because, like chat's pointing out, Hevo 2.0 could have just flung Fish Tank into the next galaxy. Or into the next underworld, I guess. That doesn't quite have the same ring to it. So, what do we do instead here? We get Rambolina set up. Wooly Bully goes here. Fish Tank threatens here. Move Erratic up here. They probably then kill Rambolina with a combination of these two. Or kill Fish Tank. Rambolina's here. Rambolina pushes that, hits here. Like, I think that's worse. But only if they wouldn't be able to fling our stuff into the pit. I think we'd be screwed from this point. I don't know. I keep waffling back and forth. Yeah, so they misplayed several ways. Probably because they think summoning Alistair Hevo 2 is auto-win. They haven't actually figured out how to use them. Possibly. I think I misplayed around what they had. Now, given the power level of these Phobies, it feels like I was kind of limited. But I'm trying to... One of the important things, and I was talking about this on previous streams, one of the important things is learning from both wins and losses. This was a default win, so whatever, it's a wash. But the big thing is that even if we chalk up the idea that Hevo and Alistair, deselect the Phobie, please. There we go. That was weird. Alistair. Even if we assume that these are overpowered and they take over a game on their own, which, again, it sure as hell seems like, yes, that is a thing that they can do. We gotta make sure that we're playing to our outs. Can we force our opponent to make a mistake? Can we try and steal a game away? It's tough, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. And I feel like this turn, prior to this turn, so the murder fly play, or way earlier in the game, was a mistake. Because in my head, this turn, I was expecting them to move this thing here, the slime guy, and then we could escape, but for some reason I was thinking this space was uninhabitable. I don't know why. Probably because over here by where your vault is, this part is, you can traverse over the abyss, but back here is not actually a space. So for some reason, first time on the map, I just made a mistake here. So this was a mistake, sacking the murder fly, which made things more complicated. That kind of snowballed once these things started to hit the board, or this hit the board, and then ultimately Hevo. And I guess I'm circling back to my original thought, which is we should not have won this game. Even if our opponent made mistakes, we won because they disconnected. And like I said, I think it's important to differentiate the reasons why you win or lose. Even if it turns out that it's something like that, where, okay, well, they were pooping and they lost their Wi-Fi, so they couldn't continue the game, whatever. Although I did find out, somebody was saying offline that apparently the mobile and PC ladders are different. Whoa, you can get tears out of this? I didn't know that. I don't think I've ever gotten tears out of these before. You'll learn something new. We got a lot of these. So yeah, GG, we'll take it. You take the W's while you can get them. We're almost there for another, whatever pack. Scary pack. So I missed out, personally, on the one-time, starter deal thing. Because I wasn't able to log in for a few days early on, and I just kind of forgot about it. So, womp womp. This is adorable. I actually want this. This is actually, some of these portraits are pretty funny to me. This thing is horrifying in-game. I know they're all supposed to be creepy, but this one is super unsettling to me. I don't think I've seen this phobia. I definitely haven't seen this. I've seen this in Discord. I don't think I've seen this guy. Hammerhead is adorable, too. I mean, realistically, every phobia is pretty cute, for the most part. Maybe not this one. Maybe not that one. Is this cassowary? I think that's cassowary. Do they have one for every phobia? No, they don't. Alright, let's jump into another game. Play on mobile, small phone screen is a problem. I could definitely see that being an issue. That could be problematic. So I tend to open Murderfly on this map. I don't know if it's actually worth it. I've seen a lot of people start with Gravediggers and try and go that route. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And then it's just a debate of which of these two cubicles you destroy. But yeah, if you're playing on mobile, I could definitely see these big maps being an issue. Or bigger maps being an issue. Opponent? Are you there? We've had some weird games so far tonight. Last game was a good one. The first one, oh, there we go. There we go. So you're leading off with sheep, huh? How can they punish us with Murderfly going forward? Only Jar or an opposing Murderfly could hit us, right? This is probably a bait, them doing that, but we're gonna go for it. Can the sheep actually get it, though? It's not gonna get it in one shot. Like, this is an option, but I don't... Yeah, but I can leech the life back. How much poison is it? 5, 6. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. They can go here. I still want to do this. We should have done this first. Should have done that first. One thing that I've noticed for Arena is just trying to find the optimal... Like, what play do you absolutely want to make, no matter what? Do that first. Get it out of the way. So that way, if you have to rewind, you have more time in the turn. Which can get very complicated, obviously. But... yeah, but poison... I mean, I don't mind tanking poison. You know, if it was just a regular cheap and gas attack as opposed to the giant one, we'd be fine. Like, yes, it lasts a long time, but we can sustain through it. There are undead that'll be able to do it, including Murderfly, but at 560 a turn, that's not happening. That one's not happening. Ah, I see we have more people trying to post links. It's a big no-no. Can't do that. Cannot do that. I know people love to try. But no good. No bueno. So they can go here. They could go here. Which makes, like, none of this very safe. I don't really like this, and to be honest, I kind of want to... I kind of wanted to bank for what's-his-face, Unbearable. So part of the issue here is this sheep can move up, and we can't really stop it. We're not going to be able to kill it, even with, like, Murderfly moving into position and Meatball, and then this on the point is not going to be enough. Yes, I do have AWOL. He's only level 2, so he's not really very impressive yet. But I just got this the other day. When I opened this offline, it was hilarious. I legitimately laughed out loud. It's yet another phobia that's horrifying, but, you know, it's kind of the point, right? Honestly, the phobies that I'm waiting for are... I'm trying to find other ones that fill the gaps collection-wise that we were talking about earlier. You know, fighting machines, more poison guys, range characters. But I want to see more 3-movement phobies. This is a big problem. And I was kind of concerned about this happening. We could run it away farther. Are they going to stay on the point? If we summon anything, it's probably going to die, right? Anything that goes here. It's amazing how much of a threat this sheep and gas is. It's actually kind of comical. So they can move here and one-shot our jar. This guy's somewhat problematic. We're probably going to sack the cat to capture this point. That's bold. Yeah, I was going to say, like, I feel like you got to go after this guy. This particular sheep does 560. Like, the gas attack hits pretty hard. This is a level 5 sheep. It's a pretty powerful sheep. You can hit for... Like, you're going to kill the murder fly, too. They're going to get the murder fly as well. But I think we have to put the murder fly here so that they don't just walk right back on the point. I'm tempted to take this point. We're not going to, but I'm tempted to take this point and then just tank the damage, because we would be able to tank it and then we could run away. I usually bait them in poisoning units 3 spaces away from a spawn, then I heal them from Metabot. I have no healing at the moment, unfortunately. But yeah, healing is the way that's one of the gaps in my collection, is I don't have any healing phobies yet, so poison is a big problem. I remember, I think it was either the last stream or the one before that, where we saw a lot of Noxious showing up, the flying poison dragon, and just absolutely pulverized us. Yeah, I guess we should have just taken the point. This guy has gotten, what, 6 keys worth of phobies? But we're trading it for 7 because we got their murder fly and the sheep and gas. I think we bank. So they could drop something here and then make it very difficult for us to approach this. So what we probably do is not stand here, but we move back so that that way we can break the block. If it happens. If you don't move, Lifesteal, Gravedigger's dead. Yes. Yeah, I was just debating as to whether we want to go in. I mean, it might have been better to be aggressive, just put him where they're going to put the block, and then go for it. But I was hoping we can kind of bait them. Oh, they're going to go here. I was hoping they were going to try and be aggressive, go for the stim pad, we blow it up, and then cap the point with the cat. But this is interesting. This guy's dimensional, right? I keep clicking... Oh my god. I keep clicking off of it. Oh my god. It's dimensional. Okay. We've solved the case, chat. We've solved the case. Holy shit. So we actually didn't want to move the cat here. We wanted to put Cyclops here so that Cyclops could get on the other point. I'm not going to rewind because we just don't have enough time. But we should have capped the point with Cyclops, because then next turn we threaten putting Cyclops here. Now, it may seem like we're in a good spot. The problem is our opponent still has, like, a gajillion keys left. This guy's not great for us. He has Resurrect, doesn't he? Yes. I'd move Cyclops all the way up. We put him here, you mean? We probably should have. We should have. There was really no point in being defensive. No way I just re-rolled the quest and now I have to kill 3-dimensional phobies with Metabot? Wait, what? That can't... That's not even possible, is it? Wait, if you don't have attack, because I'm pretty sure Metabot has literally 0 attack. If you have no attack, if you stand on a stim pad, do you get attack? Yeah, that sounds like a frenemy quest. I don't know how else you accomplish that. It feels like an oversight that should not be a quest, but that's just me. So they have 5 keys left. I really just want to use Wooly Bully. I don't know that Wooly Bully is the correct thing here. Oh, it has like 300 something attack? Does it really? Isn't one of the healing units it just straight up has no attack? Maybe it's the muffin one, the brownie one, or whatever that thing is supposed to be. We have a guy that can't be poisoned, and this is... I mean, it's fine. Poisoning this, I guess. So you... You get him, Wooly Bully. I have 130. You go. I don't know that destroying this thing was a good idea, but it gives us a little bit more room for movement, given that we have a bunch of melee guys. Why play so defensive if you have Bully? I've lost way too many games to over-aggression. And given that we have all the points, they have to come to us. Now, it's entirely possible you lose games. I'm not saying that playing defensive in all scenarios is appropriate, but it's something you can do. So we do 500? I feel like we just kill their Phobie. How much are they taking this turn? 600, 11. They're doing 400. Maybe we go face? We're going to go face. I don't think they can recover the points quickly enough at this stage. They can't win? Well, yes, but here's the risk. If we are too overly aggressive, it is possible for us to throw it away by just stumbling into their guys. That isn't necessarily the case in this game, but in general, I've lost way more games. Enemy surrendered. GG. I've lost way more games to being overly aggressive and then mispositioning as a result, and we get wiped, than I have playing defensively and saying, okay, opponent, you are the one that has to do something. Like, putting the onus on your opponent where they are required to make an action, they have to advance into you, is pretty significant. In that case, they probably could not win. I don't know if there was a way we could throw, even if we tried, short of just straight up not doing anything. As in, like, running into them and then doing nothing, as opposed to sitting back and doing nothing. But there are plenty of game states where you might as well just maintain, and yes, you'll win X number of turns from now, but as compared to... I look at it coming from card games, and I was thinking about this offline the other day. This feels like the opposite of card games. Where in card games, it's typically you need to close the game out before you give your opponent time to top deck out of it. Because they're going to be drawing cards, you could draw dead, they could draw live, and then you end up throwing away a strong position. This game feels like the opposite, where it is much easier to throw away a strong position by acting than by not acting. Or at least that is the case right now in the league I'm in. I'm perfectly willing to refine that particular philosophy, I guess. But as it stands at the moment, I definitely have, from observing my games and then just taking note of how I'm winning games. When I say observing games, I'm primarily referring to watching my replays when I lose. Or even as I'm playing and I recognize, well, yeah, that's the turn I lost. I just threw the game away. Or games where my opponents do something seemingly boneheaded, because it, a play that I would have made. And it's strictly because you get over-aggressive, or I get over-aggressive. Royal you, we're talking about, not anybody in particular. Where it's, oh, well, I'll just push and I'll get this one phobie. But then you're not really seeing the forest for the trees, and then you end up getting a whole bunch of things dominoed, and they get blown up. That's been the major deciding factor in a lot of games for me. Other ones, are the usual where it's, well, they countered my phobies, I didn't have the appropriate things for that map, / their combination of stuff. I just made a mistake. Like a minor one that tilted me and then it caused more to happen as compared to the over-aggression one. Because there are different kinds of mistakes, right? You could definitely make an error and then correct it as the game goes on and take the game back. Because at the, we're not at the top of the leaderboard right now. We're in this league. We still have more to go. We'll get there, but we still have more to go. And until you get to the top of the leagues where, you're at this part of the ladder, does it really matter? You need to clean up your own play, mostly. But there are mistakes where it's, yeah, I made a mistake, I didn't think this through, therefore I lost the game. And then there are other mistakes where, at least for me, and this happens offline, on stream I'm usually better about it. I make different types of mistakes on stream, because I'm just distracted streaming. But the mistakes I make offline, it's not uncommon for, I mispositioned that, I did something dumb, it maybe didn't even cost me a phobie, or just put me a little bit behind, and it's a snowball of tilt, where I don't tend to tilt and rage. I don't tend to just, explode and start screaming or smash my keyboard in half, like some people do for certain games. I tend to tilt, and I make a mistake, and then I'm just, over anxious about every decision, so then I over-calculate everything for every decision from there on out, compounding the problem, and then I rush one of them, and then another mistake comes out. and then another mistake comes out. And then eventually it's, okay, you've made 30 mistakes. You don't deserve to win this game. It's one of the things that you have, it's not just tightening your own play, or I guess it is. It's part of tightening your own play is recognizing what's causing the mistakes. It's that weird slow trickle tilt. Exactly, Atona. And I realize this from playing card games and tournaments. Tournaments in which I win round 1. Not game 1, round 1. I am, like, my percentage point, and this is axiomatically true. By winning your first round, you're skyrocketing your chances of winning the event, just because of the way tiebreakers and stuff work. But for me personally, it's I have to win round 1 to get off on the right foot, kind of like calm the nerves. It's like when I was still playing football. When you play football, there's a lot of nerves pre-game until that first hit. You get that first hit, either you get hit, or you make a hit, or there's just a collision in general. It's like, all right, everything's loose now. It's very easy to go into stuff being tense. And I've found it's the same sort of thing. And in cognitive games, such as Phobies or card games or other stuff, it's important for me I have to maintain an even keel internally. It's easy to present as calm. It's much more difficult to literally be calm and be detached enough from the decisions that you're not getting frustrated or excited or whatever. Because I've definitely lost games in card games and in Phobies as well where, oh, I can't lose from this position. And then you get over-aggressive and overextend. These are things that, I know this is more philosophy than gameplay sort of thing, but, it comes in. I know there's stuff I missed in chat. Get a little chomp action going. I see that. I see it coming. Oh, you're in a lead game. For me, I close out games more aggressively if I have a massive key lead because I can refill the board. That is true, Luffy. I missed that earlier, but yes, that is true. In the position we were in, so if we're in a stage where it's 0 keys to 0 keys, but I have a board position, I'm making you come to me. I'm not going after you unless I have to. I'm down on life or whatever. Because it's on you, opponent. You got to make something happen. I don't. We should look at the profiles, actually. Is it in the shop? Maybe we'll forgo a pack so we can get that. I used to have that sort of tilt, but I haven't had the trickle tilt in years. The realization I came to is that you have to play like you didn't make the last play. Imagine you're third party playing as you. You don't have the... Yeah, it's like being a quarterback. You constantly hear that in the NFL, having a short-term memory. And it's not a joke about everybody getting hit in the head. It's not. It's about you have to, look, you screwed up. Let it go. Make the best play from the new normal, the new baseline game state. It's easier said than done, but that is a thing. Feels good when I'm ahead and I can't even summon. Yeah, that's true, Luffy. That's absolutely true. But I also have some comeback because I've let weak Phobies. I waited to kill their big ones and pushes one big group, and none of my strats work on a big map. Yeah, the big map is definitely making things change. I kind of want this because this is amusing. What Phobie is this? I don't think I know what Phobie that is. Oh, I want the jar. That is adorable. Look how angry Sheeping Gas is. I actually want this one, but this takes real money. Are all of these... No, there's a fish tank, there's Hydra, which I don't have. So it feels silly. We could get Wooly Bully. I don't have this guy yet, but I do want that Phobie. These are all going to be too expensive. 9,000. What one is this? I don't even know what Phobie that is. The weird plant one. Now, we'll wait on this. My next 1,000 will go into it. We'll just get a pack. I don't know why I closed out. We could have just swapped back. You play with chat or just grinding arena? I'll play with chat. That's perfectly fine. A few members in chat are in my Discord, and we almost always have frenemies games going, Fanglade. I did have, when I was streaming other games, I did have one of those, like, oh, well, don't put in channel points to play with the streamer, but that was when chat was much bigger and it was more relevant, like, just to keep it organized. But yeah, if you want to send a frenemies challenge, feel free. But for the moment, we'll jump in. Where's the Discord at? There you go. I am trying to grow the Discord. It's not a it's not a huge community. You'll see if you join it. We're all just kind of hanging out, and it's so we can set up games, because a lot of the people who are hanging out in chat now, as well as some others that aren't, have really enjoyed Phobies picking it up. So we play a lot of Frenemies games. I have been playing more Frenemies games in general. So we made the mistake with the jar, and I really think that actually cost us, because, for example, the crab at the end of that game, we could have killed, like, the crab could have been dead because we could have put damage on it. Their Gin Sting and the clown also could have been in a similar position. I don't know. Hey, it's DT. Good luck, have fun. We'll do the same opener here. But yeah, Red Rum still continues to be a thorn in my side. That map, I've actually won games on it. Believe it or not. I have won games on it. Believe me, I was shocked about it too. But it has not gone well. It has not gone well for the most part. So we're going to use Gesundheit here just as kind of a deterrent. Our opponent can move in and try and take the panic point, but not very efficiently. I just don't want to have to engage Eternal Night with the Murder Fly, because it's likely going to get pulled into position and die, or out of position and die. Now, we may end up losing our Gesundheit to this anyway. Theirs is a little bit better than ours. So I'm not going to bother counting it, I'm just going to try this. Because this should be more than enough. And then we just move back. Now, our opponent could elect to try and move into position to hit it with the Murder Fly. But if they do, we blow it up. The other option is they just move Gesundheit up. Like, I'm not too worried about the panic point. I'm not too worried about the panic point. Use second attack on the Gesundheit and move the Murder Fly to hit it. We could. This is more also me trying to pull them out of position. Like, I know we talked about this a few games ago about being overly defensive, and that kind of is the case here. But also part of that is I'm doing it intentionally. That way the enemy Murder Fly dies too. I'd have to go back and look at it. So the Murder Fly was where? Here? And this was here? We have to meatball this, unfortunately. And we have to sink all the attacks in. Yeah. I was hoping we could position something else, but we just don't have that option. I don't really want this, but I want to commit something to the board, but not necessarily that thing. Yeah, I didn't want to... Like, I wanted to do Unbearable, but really we need one of these gone, otherwise Unbearable goes, like, here. Because we had to sink 2 jar attacks in, I was hoping we could do 1 plus Meatball and then move the jar, like, up here, so that way it could get on the point, the stim pad next, but that was not an option. Alternatively, we could have just played Gravedigger and opened this up, like I was talking about, or just any of the other ones and banked keys, which I think in retrospect is better. I don't know. They have a lot of the points. Yeah, that's probably a good position. Because now we can't safely contest this thing. I mean, we will kill this. Or we should, I think. Yeah, we don't have to waste the actual gas attack. $265. We're actually going to put this here. We want to be able to get it on the point. So Cat is advancing, so we have something else to fight this stuff. And also so we can try and... We have something else to reclaim a point with next turn, and then the rest is just banking. I'd attack it, what, this thing? It puts it at, like, 10 health. Yeah, the Murderfly can one-shot it. That's exactly why I waited, Troller. You're absolutely right. Because it would have left it at, like, 10 health. I was making sure that I wasn't going to kill it with the jar, because then I would have pulled it into position where it could get hit by the Gesundheit. So honestly, this cat was probably bad because I don't think it's going to be able to claim this spot. I expect whatever our opponent plays is going to be able to try and push it off the spot. No, they could get a ranged phobie, like a lob phobie, and put it here and hit it. What is this? Mr. Tramples. Pretty big. Pretty big. Plows through enemies, you don't say. How much does he do? 600. Wow. That's a lot. Ran out of time, gotcha. Wait, what's his move? He moves 3. Oh, good lord. Actually, we probably wanted the jar there because they can go here anyway. I rewound it and I shouldn't have. What is he, a monster? Yeah, I figured he was a monster. How many palette swap Phobies are there? Because there's Razor Claw or Razor Mouth, whatever this... I always forget the name of this thing. Razor Mouth. And the Electric Cat. There's this guy and Rambolina. Are there any others? So does this, like, I don't know how this works. Does it knock back at all? Presumably it just damages everything in a line for 3 spaces. So you can move here and go 1, 2... Like, if I put the jar here, I don't know what happens. I assume what's going to happen is going to deal 600 here, and end on this space. Which I don't want to happen. I ran out of time. I should have just moved him again. I don't know why I undid it. It was going to take longer to do that. I don't think he does, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure how that behaves. I've never... Well, actually, I take it back. I think DT and I played before, and Mr. Tramples hit the board. So our Murderfly is going to die because I undid stuff and I didn't mean to. I can just demonstrate instead of trying to win. No, go for the win. Go for the win. Yeah, the Murderfly, I wanted to move it, like, here instead of the center spot. I should have just moved it again instead of undoing. It takes longer for it to, like, reset. Yeah, Mr. Tramples on the damage tile seems super dangerous, because for anybody who's not aware, the amp tiles here, the stim pads, they only care that you start the attack there. They don't care where you end up. I'm clicking out of chat, or out of the client to look at chat, so that's why the sound's being weird. I use him quite often, but I never had him end on a unit with a dash. I assume you cannot. Like, that's not an option. So if we did this, you can't hit us, right? Like, you just wouldn't be able to with the charge? Because you could go behind the heart, but the bodies are in a line. Can you, like, can he bend? So, like, can he plow through the Stairmaster? I guess we're about to find out. We're just gonna bank the keys, because I'm not rushing it. Has to go to an empty spot. That's what I figured. Yeah, it makes sense for that to be the case. Ah, okay, so it will hit through these two, because that's technically a legal movement path. Makes sense. Makes sense. I was lining them up like that under the assumption that it had to go in a line, but there's nothing on the... I clicked off. There's nothing on the ability that indicates it has to go in a line. think that's lethal. GG. Oh, no, sorry, DT, I didn't look at chat. My bad. I was looking at the game client, I didn't look at chat. My bad. Well, I wouldn't be able to see them anyway, right? Or is there something unique about Baba Yaga's? There needs to be a search. There needs to be a search bar here. Not until they go off, gotcha. Oh, that's a leaper. Here's... I mean, I've gotten blown out by traps on stream, so... Oh, we got a frenemies game. I'll check that one out after the stream, DT. But I'm not certain about a cooldown being visible. The cooldown is visible. I have seen traps on cooldown. To be fair, Atona, they have a lot of quality of life stuff. I'm actually going to put that in the Phobies feedback thing now. Oh, they locked it down. I wonder why. Oh, wait. So there's a suggestions thing that I can't post in. Oh, they redid this because of that vote that they're doing. So, this is weird. And the regulars for the channel I already know what they're going to say. But, Phobies recently put out something. They have a feedback gang role in their Discord that they can ping so that way they can request feedback from people about certain components of the game. So I signed up for it a while back, and they just recently, a couple days ago, pinged that group to say, hey, what can we do to improve Phobies? And I mentioned it on stream the other day that it's basically all the things you'd expect. We don't like the caps. Give us arena for frenemies games. The economy, both card leveling and the actual acquisition of Phobies, is rough. List of a bunch of other things. And I don't know what they expected. I mean, realistically, these are all things that, like, anybody was going to say that. I don't think there's any player who's going to say, no, Game Maker, you should make the economy more punishing for the players. I mean, I have said that personally, but I'm usually saying that in the context of I'm putting myself in the shoes of the developer, and they need to keep the lights on. They need to pay their employees, that sort of thing. However, they're a company. Any game company is going to go through this. They're incentivized to try and do the opposite. Alright, we're back on this map. This is what, Ergo? Is this Ergo? No, this is not Ergo. I'm trying to remember the map names. I honestly wish the map names were on display here, but we'll come back to the other thought after this game. This is another map that I don't really know what my opener is. Or... So we can't murder fly over here because it will die. It will end up dead. We're trying something different here. I don't normally open like this. So we're gonna see. Eternal Monday. Thank you, DT. Alright, so jar was kind of expected. This is one thing that they actually don't show as far as I know. I have no idea how much damage the dimensional phobies do when they pull something. Like, literally no idea. They're just gonna retreat there. I don't think this is really what we want. We should have swapped the knight and the cassowary. The knight should be on this spot because it's vulnerable here. That was a mistake. They do their base damage. Okay. I was having difficulty leveling up Eternal Knight, and usually it's too quick, like catching what the damage is when stuff happens for me to be able to tell. The jar is kind of pointless, right? This one's weird. I know I'm being kind of quiet because I'm not sure exactly what I want to do here. So they're very aggressive with their jar. They're going to move up the cassowary and jump it. Which is not surprising, I guess. But, like, we're just going to trade out jars, I guess? I don't quite understand this one. That seems, like, this sequence seems weird to me. Yeah. So they don't kill the cassowary. So what I guess they want to do is kill this and then block here. So we've officially traded jars. Like I said, what I assume they wanted to do is they would come back with the cassowary, kill ours, or whatever we put on the spot. And maybe we should have flipped these, but... and then they would move Gravedigger up, block where Voodoo is right now. Which, I guess is fine? I don't know. Wait, that didn't kill him? Oh, he has 14 health. Come on. So now they get him. And the Murderfly is still alive. And they love standing on these fire tiles. What is happening? Why are you doing that? That seems not correct. Am I missing something? Aren't you dead now? Chat, you're gonna have to educate me. What am I missing here? Why are they doing that? They banked keys. They banked keys. I'm inclined to do the same, because, like, we don't have to do anything right now. Actually... You know what takes up the most time? Is trying to go back into your vault. And scrolling to find the appropriate phobie. So here's the reason I did that. We can now... The play I was talking about with them moving the Gravedigger up and locking off, I was about to point at the monitor like you can see me pointing. Where... The opposite position of where Voodoo is. I'm going to walk Gravedigger onto the point and block that. That's why I wanted the one key for this, just so that we could set that up. So, obviously, the Murderfly can fly over, but I don't care. It's at 14 health. It's going to have to expose itself in order to accomplish that, so it's going to die. We may have tilted our opponent. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened. So we block here. They can come up through... Like, they could shoot with the Murderfly. I guess. Well, they can meatball here. Maybe this isn't great. Like, do we instead just Voodoo kill this thing? That's 1,014. Like, they can't kill the, This isn't really necessary. We probably could have just banked the keys and been fine. We are taking a bunch of damage on the Gravedigger, but this seals off this part of the map. I don't think there's any way they can kill Voodoo. This turn, anyway. Like, they're gonna hit it with this, take some damage in return. If the Murderfly hits it, it dies. Wait, what? I guess it doesn't. Never mind. Okay, so they are able to get it. So they're trying to keep that alive. Or are they just giving up on it? took way more damage than I thought it was. Oop. Trying to click on the tile. Stop. Game, please. There's way more damage on it than I thought it did. We could actually leave you here. Our opponent kind of has to make something happen. We could push in, I guess. The cat's kind of irrelevant. Nah, don't push. I agree. I don't know that Sheep and Gash is worth it, but it is kind of a deterrent. Like, they have to funnel in. It might have been better to just bank for a 7 key, truthfully. And that was my first inclination, is just, or sit on erratic. You know what I mean? Part of me wants to run the cat in to cap something, but I don't know that that's necessary. Now, I think Murderfly is likely our play here. The voodoo, the stabby here is kind of concerning. But I mean, they gotta come get us, so... Come get me. See, like, now we can go cap with the cat and probably get it out without having it... Well, definitely get it out. They're not gonna be able to reach it with anything. This puts more pressure on them. And if they show up here, I can run the Sheep and Gas in. Or we could just run away with the bear, I don't know. I mean, with all 3 points, they have to come after us now. See, if they don't move the voodoo down, they don't move Stabby down, they're going to be in trouble because they're not going to be able to hit the sheep when I move it up. Actually, they can. Okay, so they're going up here. So they'll be able to hit it for 5... like 13, almost 14. Not a lot, but enough to be a little worried. I don't think they can threaten the rest. Maybe we move you here? I guess it doesn't really matter. You could always go here. We'll just wait. Stabby's too slow to really get into the mix in time for it to make a humongous difference. Because the Stairmaster is also going to be locked off by virtue of the bear being here and and Stabby being here. I think we've safely got this one, chat. You got the cat. GG. Another surrender. GG. Not bad, not bad. Alright, chat, let's try and get one more game in tonight. Let's see if we can get one more game in. So we will be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow, and I'm planning on playing some Phobies. Is this the same opponent? This might be the same opponent. I played once on this map, I think. 1, 2, 1, 2. I feel as though I open Murderfly again. I just don't know whether to send it here or here. I'm gonna try going here. Maybe we just take our points since we're going first. So if they go with a 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, they can cap it next turn and threaten this. So I think we're just going to do this. So like I said, if we elected to go with the Murderfly down here, they could go with a 3 here that could hypothetically combat the Murderfly, and then send a 1-drop here and threaten both places. But they're going with Cassowary instead, which is reasonable. I think we still cap this. They can't... Well, they could jar. That's 256. It should not kill... Unless they have an insanely high-level jar, which if this is the same opponent, I don't think they did. And they should not be able to kill our jar either, I don't think. You hate this map? Like I said earlier, I'm not a huge fan of all the maps right now. The new maps from this league. I don't know if this one is one of those. But I'm not enormously excited about them so far. The big maps especially, maybe that'll change over time. So I do call this out when I play other games, and it's important to recognize just because you don't like something right now doesn't mean you won't like it later, kind of thing. It's entirely possible that these maps are perfectly fine, and it turns out, you know, I just don't like this one for reasons right now. Alright, so we can't get their jar. Big maps get more fun when your collection gets bigger. I could see that. Weekly map rotation, are you saying that's the case right now, or are you saying that's what needs to happen? Three. I'm gonna bank the key. Maybe it would have been better to get Razormouth online and get into position to possibly cap here. Not sure. That's what's happening? Gotcha. I wonder how many maps there are in total. Like, have we seen all of them? Have all of them been in play at this point? Because I don't have access to all of them, obviously, because I'm not... Like, my player level hasn't increased high enough yet, but... I think they have new maps. It's pretty cool if they're going to keep introducing new maps, because that alleviates some of the concern about... Like, if people... Well, this was not a concern I had, but... That's because I played a lot of RTSs over the years. Maps can change things dramatically. Like, the strategies change an enormous amount. Simply by changing the maps. I don't think we can do this, because the murder fly is just going to die if we leave it there. So if they elect to come after our jar, we can eat it with the murder fly. Because they can actually kill it. We're 5 health short of surviving. So I was going to get the sheep online, and I think in retrospect that was probably a better idea. Oh, that's not a good idea, friend. We're splitting them up like this so that way less things can get hit by the counter bees. We'll take some more damage, but we're going to bank the keys for now. So they can choose, if they want to keep Jin Sting in range, they can choose to either kill the murder fly or kill the cassowary, but they should not be able to get both. Good positioning, thank you. I'm slowly learning. I have to learn the hard way, but we're getting there. Maybe we should have gotten the razor mouth out, like I said, and just sacrifice it so we can control one of the points. Because we do have to go in now. So we go 4. I think we can get this. We're going with our generic go-to, chat. So we're trading the murder fly and the cassowary for their murder fly and their jar, which I guess is fine. It's not great, but obviously, what else are we going to do? You're 18. You can do 8. 3 is 11. That's not good enough to get it. I don't think we want to move it all the way back to heal. Like, 76 is fine. If they want to try and advance it all, we'll be able to light things up. So I'm going to bank the keys. They need to do something. And it looks like they are banking for something big. So the erratic may have been preempted, but I figured we had an advantage, so I wanted to try and get it into position so that way we could do something. Ginsting is really funny to me. Phobies! Okay, we've seen this guy before, but I forget what he is. He's another power down guy. Stage fright. You are melee, though. You're a monster. So I think we just kill this guy. Maybe not. We're gonna kill him. This could be a mistake. This could be a mistake. Hey, CBG, what's good? I'm doing alright, I'm doing alright. I'm enjoying some Phobies, because Phobies is really fun. So we're trading our 4 for their 4. Question is, can we trade our 4 for their 6? This thing snorts as it runs. That's kind of funny. Oh, I don't know about that one, Chief. I mean, that's okay, I guess. We're still gonna kill it, but... Try to sew back in Leathersmith deck? That's pretty cool. You win? Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot. I think we're in a pretty good spot. We should be able to kill this thing without actually endangering anything. So this thing could run up and possibly, like, be annoying, but that's about it. Because it could depower the jar. What do we even have left? We'll get a Doom Knight on the board, I guess. So is it possible to draw in Phobies? Because I just realized, if, say you kill something with an attack, but it's a dimensional phobie, does the game recognize that you killed it? Or does it, or does it have both effects, the attack and the dimensional effect happen at the same time, air quotes, and therefore you don't, you end up drawing? That doesn't seem like what you wanted to have happen. partially just to get a heal, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think our opponent can do a whole hell of a lot from here. Fun fact, I didn't get a single Leathersmith activation. That sounds like the rest of the, I guess, 21 cards in your deck actually won the game, not the Leathersmith or the Sobek. GG. GG. Alright, so I think we finished positive on the night, chat. I think we finished positive. Where are we on? Whoop. Oh, so we must have already unlocked the other thing. I thought that was us just hitting the last tier. So we're getting up there. I'm debating whether to bank the coffee or not and try and get one of these dreadful packs. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a lot of Phobies played. But honestly, I've been enjoying the game enough that I'm considering putting some money in. Like I said earlier, I missed the welcome package. We'll see. You got to do async games. Just to get the quantity of games, you mean? Or is there something particular about async? Yeah, I'm not sure. I normally don't do boosts for these sort of things. What is the subscription daily double? I guess it's for how long this lasts. It's considered a subscription because it's 3 days. I don't know. Those don't seem worth it. Yeah, just for that, because of the monthly and weekly rewards, you only get 60 beans this week. Subscription isn't available yet. Ah, okay, so it's just there as a placeholder. So there's a placeholder. See, I guess that's a reasonable way for them to shift the economic model, both real-life economics and in-game economy, in a different direction without necessitating the somewhat predatory current model. I would, depending on what the subscription shakes up to be, obviously if it's garbage, I'm not going to do it, but I wouldn't hate doing that in Phobies, you know, if it's a few bucks a month and it helps me accrue the Phobies that I'm missing and stuff. I think it'd be worth it. Like I said, I am of the opinion that I am in a position, real life wise, where I am capable of sending some money the devs' way. And for their efforts and their work, I think that's reasonable. That will vary by person, of course, but I don't think it's absurd to say, hey, you guys put out a good game, I'm enjoying it, here's a little bit of money. Everybody's going to have their own line in the sand of where it's reasonable to do that and where not to, so I can't say for anyone else, I can only speak from my perspective. And I certainly couldn't fault anybody because my wife and I donate a lot of money to charity, and if you'd much rather send money to a charity, of which there are plenty right now that definitely need it, go ahead and do that. Because there are more important things than acquiring more Phobies in this world. Believe it or not. It may come to shock you, but there are things more important. But anyway, like I said, we're going to be playing Phobies tomorrow, or at least that's the game plan barring catastrophe. We'll have to see how things shape up. I'm debating getting an earlier start tomorrow. We'll play it by ear. I don't want to promise that. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. But I'll post in the Phobies Discord. So I appreciate the new follows tonight, and I appreciate everybody who was hanging out, making chat more lively and entertaining. This will obviously get pulled down for YouTube later, and I'll splice it up and stuff like that, put markers so people can catch up. Because apparently people like watching the whole stream on YouTube. I mean, that's fine. Doesn't bother me. It's just interesting compared to other games where typically people would want a single game and stuff like that. But, like I said, that's going to do it for tonight. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.